One wrong cut, 1 second of mistake, everything changes. A mature tree can weigh several tons. Some stand more than 100 feet tall. Once a tree begins falling, there is very little that can stop the forces already in motion. That reality is one reason logging has long been recognized as one of the most hazardous occupations. Every day, professional operators use chainsaws, harvesters, skidders, loaders, and forestry equipment to remove trees with remarkable precision and efficiency. Most of the time, everything goes according to plan. The tree falls in the intended direction. The machine performs exactly as expected. The operation is completed safely. But forestry is an environment where small mistakes can have very large consequences. A hidden lean, a suspended branch, a trapped saw, a tensioned log, an overlooked hazard, and suddenly a routine job becomes a serious close call. Today we're looking at some of the craziest logging fails, machine mistakes, and near-disaster moments that demonstrate why professional forestry requires constant awareness, planning, and respect. Wrong falling direction. Every standing tree has a center of gravity. Every tree has a natural lean. Every tree carries weight differently. That is why experienced cutters spend time evaluating the trunk, the crown, surrounding trees, wind conditions, terrain, and escape routes before making a single cut. The challenge begins when the desired falling direction does not perfectly match the tree's natural tendencies. Everything can appear normal. The notch is cut, the back cut begins, the escape route is clear. Then something changes. The top brushes another tree. A hidden weight imbalance reveals itself. The tree pivots unexpectedly, and instead of falling into the plan zone, it moves somewhere entirely different. One misjudgment, massive consequences. This is why experienced loggers never assume a tree will behave exactly as expected. Nature always has the final vote. The most dangerous threat may be overhead. Many people assume the biggest danger comes from the trunk being cut. Often that is not the case. One of the most well-known forestry hazards is the widowmaker. A widowmaker is typically a broken branch, hanging limb, damaged treetop, or a suspended section of wood trapped high above the ground. It may remain suspended for days, weeks, or even months. Everything appears safe. The cutting begins. The tree starts moving. Vibration travels through the surrounding canopy. Then gravity takes over. A hidden branch suddenly falls without warning. The operator may never have seen it. Widowmaker. This is why professional cutters constantly inspect overhead conditions before beginning work. The danger is not always in front of them. Sometimes it is directly above them. Chainsaw stuck. At first, the cut looks perfect. The chain moves smoothly. Wood chips fly. Progress feels effortless. Then the tree shifts. The kerf begins to close. Pressure builds around the guide bar, and suddenly the chainsaw is trapped. Many inexperienced operators react by pulling harder or twisting the saw. That can make the situation even worse. The problem is no longer the chainsaw. The problem is understanding what forces inside the tree caused the pinch. Professional loggers know that when a tree begins behaving unexpectedly, safety takes priority over equipment. Sometimes the smartest decision is to stop, reassess the situation, and choose a completely different approach. Safety first. Tension and compression. One of the least understood dangers in forestry is stored energy. A fallen tree may look completely harmless, but appearances can be deceiving. A log suspended between obstacles, a bent sapling, a partially uprooted tree, a trunk resting unevenly across rocks. All of these can store tremendous force. The moment a cut releases that force, the wood may move instantly. Logs can roll, branches can spring backward, root systems can shift. Wood under tension can react in unpredictable ways. Stored energy. What appears safe one moment can become dangerous the next. That is why professional operators spend so much time evaluating tension and compression before making a cut. Wood does not always behave the way people expect. Expensive mistakes. Some of the most dramatic tree felling incidents happen near structures: homes, garages, vehicles, power lines, roads. In these environments, precision becomes absolutely critical. The margin for error becomes extremely small. Everything may appear under control. The ropes are attached, the cuts are prepared, the plan is in place. Then conditions change. A gust of wind, an unexpected lean, a weight distribution that wasn't fully understood, and suddenly thousands of pounds of wood are moving towards something valuable. Very costly lesson. Trees are often predictable, but they are never guaranteed. Forestry beasts. Modern forestry machines are engineering marvels. Harvesters, forwarders, skidders, loaders, wood chippers, mulchers. These machines can perform work that once required entire crews. They can cut, process, transport, stack, and load timber with incredible efficiency. But even the most powerful machine has limits. Mud, steep terrain, soft ground, poor visibility, hidden obstacles. Every one of these can create challenges. A machine weighing tens of thousands of pounds can become stuck. A recovery operation may require additional equipment. A difficult job can become even more complicated. The bigger the machine, the bigger the problem. Skill matters. Watch enough logging footage and one thing becomes obvious. Experience matters. A lot. Professional operators often notice details others miss. A subtle lean, a tension crack, a shifting root system, a changing wind direction, a suspended branch. Small observations often prevent major problems. That knowledge comes from years of work in environments where mistakes have consequences. Because in forestry, confidence is valuable, but overconfidence can be dangerous. Professional versus amateur. The best operators understand that every tree deserves respect, no matter how routine the job may seem. Power, precision, respect. Logging remains one of the most impressive industries in the world. The machines are powerful, the operators are highly skilled, and the work can be extraordinary to watch. But successful logging depends on more than horsepower, more than equipment, more than experience. It depends on judgment, because one wrong cut really can change everything. A tree does not care how many years someone has been doing the job. Gravity does not negotiate. Stored energy does not give warnings. And nature does not make exceptions. That is why the best loggers are not necessarily the fastest. They are the ones who know when to stop, observe, reassess, and make the safest decision possible. Gravity always wins. If you enjoy powerful forestry machines, incredible logging operations, and unforgettable close calls, make sure to subscribe and let us know in the comments which moment surprised you the most. Because deep in the forest, every cut tells a story, and sometimes that story comes far closer to disaster than anyone expected.